What is up, guys? Rarno back once again with some more Bloodborne. Before we continue off, I just want to tell you guys that I went through the first chalice dungeon. That whole endeavor will be at the end of this episode as a special bonus. I ended up getting a new blood gem for my saw cleaver in there. And let me just show that off to you real quick. As you can see here, our red blood gem is what we were using before. Physical attack up plus 2.7%. This is the new one. Physical attack up 10.5%. So obviously a lot better for physical attack on our saw cleaver. Now this episode I'm planning on getting a brand new weapon and a brand new gun. So that's why I've been avoiding upgrading my stuff a lot, because they aren't the weapons I'm going to be sticking with. But yeah. So anyways, there's a few items I didn't end up showing off to you guys in the last episode that I wanted to show off. Starting with this right here. Hunter attire worn by Henrik, the old hunter. The taciturn old hunter Henrik was once partners with Father Gascoigne, and though they were a fierce and gallant duo, their partnership led to Henrik's tragically long life. Henrik's unique yellow garb is resistant to bolt, and will be of great help to any hunter who has inherited the onus of the hunt. I also ended up equipping some runes in the last episode, but I never did show you guys the rune workshop tool, so let's do that. Runesmith Carl, student of Bergenworth, transcribed the inhuman utterings of the Great Ones into what are now called Carl runes. The hunter who retrieves this workshop tool can etch Carl runes into the mind to attain their wondrous strength. Provost Willem would have been proud of Carl's runes, as they do not rely upon blood in any measure. Interesting stuff. Before we go, I'm going to pick up some items that I'm going to definitely need. That's way too many. Need like 8 Molotovs. And since we're picking stuff up, don't mind me. Let's just fill all that up. Now the reason I just spent all my echoes that I earned from the chalice dungeon and in the last episode is because we're actually going to get killed on purpose right now by a snatcher. When we die, we're going to lose all of our echoes anyway, so we might as well spend them. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through here without dying, but spending them is the best option instead of trying to save them and then end up dying and losing them all. So might as well get something out of them, right? Alright, so here we are. I'm going to go get killed by a snatcher now. Alright, hey buddy. Ow. Oh, that really hurts. Ouch. Please, no more. Oh, God. No, but seriously, I'm gonna get captured by this dude, and we will awaken in a brand new area. A very difficult area, because it is for later in the game, but we're gonna do it now just because we're cool like that, and I'm not afraid of dying. So here we are, we gain insight for finding this place. So we're going to want to head to the right here, just quickly. Madmen toil surreptitiously in rituals to beckon the moon, uncover their secrets. More cryptic messages that we can't find out what they mean till later.
Oh, merciful God, help me. In the name of the healing church, cleanse us of this horrible dream.
So we can hear an NPC in here, and if we go talk to her right now...
Oh! Please leave me be. Don't take me, please. Oh, please, dear God.
She obviously does not want to talk to us, but if we equip the black church garb that we got...
Oh, by your garb, the healing church, you've come to save me. Oh, thank you, dear saint. I he's an upstanding member of the church like you. Oh, thank you so much, dear gods. Thank you so much. I was seized on the street by a hulking brute in the cathedral ward and locked up here. There were many others, but they've been taken away. And I've heard moans echoing in the distance ever since. So, the hunt is on tonight. Then the streets are perilous, and every door will be shut tight. Perhaps it isn't my place to ask, but do you know somewhere that might take me in? Oh, thank you so much. I'll set out as soon as I can. I pray for success on your hunt, kind hunter.
Did anyone else see that little guy go through the wall and make me lose my bloodstone shards? That's a feels bad. Nightmarish rituals crave a newborn. Find one and silence its harrowing cry. So that woman only trusts healing church hunters, which is obviously means she has problems. Get ourselves a new room, so let's go ahead and read that before we move on. A secret symbol left by Carl, roomsmith of Bergenworth. A transcription of Moon as spoken by the Great Ones inhabiting the nightmare. Gain more blood echoes. The Great Ones that inhabit the nightmare are sympathetic in spirit and often answer when called upon. Also, don't go straight through here. Otherwise this guy's gonna jump on you and he will gouge your eyes out and one-shot you. And nobody wants to be one-shot. Hey look, a pig! Come on, piggy. Walk a little closer, please. Grab those extra blood vials for later. So as I was saying, this is an area we are going to come back to later on, so obviously we're going to find a good chunk of higher level items here, including like things like Cold Blood 8s and 6s. There's actually quite a few of those to go around in this area. And obviously the enemies are a little bit stronger than usual. We got the Yahar Ghoul set now. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Thick black pullover worn by hunters of the Unseen Village. The hunters of Yahar Ghoul answer to the village's founders, the School of Menses. Hunters in name only, these kidnappers blend into the night wearing this attire. Designed primarily to defend from physical attacks, the binding of thick rope serves both to protect its wearer and restrain its foes. Cool stuff. We'll learn a lot more about the School of Menses later on. They play a very important role in the coming game. Show me your butt. Piggy, I need you to show me your butt. Thank you. Appreciate it. because of our rune, we get more blood echoes from backstabs. That gave us quite a few more. And there we go, we get our first set of bolt paper now. And because I'm not a dummy, I'm not gonna rush in there and let these dogs kill me. Come on. Come here. Stop barking and come here. Stop being a dummy. This dog is being so stupid. You know what? Forget you, dog. There we go. That went way worse than I hoped. Come on. I'll slowly walk up behind here and I'm gonna charge up my special attack. Well, that didn't go as I was hoping. At all. That went terribly. I thought I would be able to clip the two dogs in that attack I did, but I wasn't able to. And that guy transformed, so obviously, bad things, bad things. But that's okay. Even if he is transformed, as long as we stayed a little bit range, we can reach that backstab. And now we get a very, very overpowered weapon, the Tonitrus. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. A unique trick weapon contrived by Archibald, the infamous eccentric of the Healing Church Workshop. Striking this peculiar iron morning star flail like a match generates the same blue sparks that blanket a dark beast. Unfortunately, for reasons untold, the hunters of Archibald's time did not fully take to the device. So here we learned that that device, when it was made, was never properly utilized, even though it's so powerful. When you, that weapon has no transform mode, but when you hit the transform button, it ends up igniting like a match, as it says in the description. It'll spark up, almost as if you're using bolt paper for it, but it's free. It lasts like 7 seconds or so. Yeah, let's hope you don't fall through the floor like your brother. Alright, there we go. There's my bloodstone shards. Now these doors are very important to open now because you won't be able to open these doors later. So open these now and you'll have a much easier time when we come back to this area. During the blood moon, I guess it's called. I got a little reckless there. I could have easily died. But I didn't. So rest in peace to this snatcher. Give me my bloodstone shard. Now watch out when you go into this next area. You will get ambushed by a couple more of those guys who gouge out your eyes. Obviously that's a bad thing, so open the doors and then back up. He could have actually grabbed me right there and I would have been screwed, so that worked out pretty well. Now before you rush into this next room like an idiot, go ahead and take out all the enemies, grab the blood vials, the bullets, everything. Do not rush out there into those two snatchers. You're going to want to wait. And they actually should be in the perfect position once you walk away. I'm actually going to extend, yep, okay. Oh, he's actually walking a little bit further than I'd like him to. So this guy's coming after us, I think. Just let him see us. Just let him come a little closer. So it's good to do this one at a time. That could have gone very poorly. But I think we're all good here. Yep. Alrighty. And look at that. We have basically the same amount of blood echoes we had before. If we take a look over there, that big clump of stick looking thing, that is the boss. I kinda wish I had some bone marrow ash, but I used it all in the chalice dungeon like a dummy. I think we'll be fine though. Anyways. I honestly expected that to happen. I honestly didn't think I was gonna win there, but that's fine. I don't know, man. I was being kind of dumb there. A little bit. Really dumb. I think that might be my first death here, too. But at least this gives us the chance to get this guy. You little jerk. Falling through walls. I'm actually going to ignore all the enemies now and head back to the lamp. I thought this lamp was already lit. My bad. I'm actually going to head back to the Hunter's Dream and pick up a few things using my cold bloods that I picked up, and then we're gonna head back to Parl, and I'll take him down. Get you guys back in a sec. What is up, guys? Rarno back. And yes, this is post-commentary now, just because I ended up having to re-record this episode so many times. I just got so mad that I decided to forget the commentary and just go with the episode for now, and I'd do post-commentary afterwards. So, we're fighting Dark Beast Parl right now. And now Parl is pretty easy. As long as you stay close to him, don't ever run from this boss. Unless he's running from you already, do not run from him, because he will jump all over you and kill you in like half a second. Ended up missing my visceral attack, but that didn't really matter because I was just demolishing him with this fire paper here. He couldn't even stand. Yeah, he was just completely screwed. And my Bone Marrow Ash does so much damage that he had no chance. And that there, guys, how you take down a Dark Beast. We got the Spark Hunter badge, and I will end up reading all of the items I get at the end of the episode. I just wanted to move on so bad. I was getting so sick and tired of having to restart it over some stupid crap. I died on a few parts, and I was not satisfied. I was like, I shouldn't be dying here. I need to do this perfectly and properly. So, yeah, that is the story to why I had to restart it. Anyways, as you can see, we are now back in Old Yharnam. That is what that big door was leading to. And now, I told you guys in a previous episode that we could make the guy with the Gatling gun our friend. And this is how you do it. You end up running back through Old Yharnam, and you have to do this from the Parl boss room. And you aren't allowed to kill any beasts along your way. And if you fill out those requirements, he will talk to you without attacking you. If you kill any beasts along the way, though, he will attack you. So just be aware. Make sure you're not killing anything. And yeah.
Well, well. How did you get in here? It's no matter. What brings you to Old Yharnam? I've no interest in matters further up. But you must not disturb this place. The beasts do not venture above, and mean no harm to anyone. If you still insist on hunting them, then I will hunt you first. You understand me? Yes, very good. I no longer dream, but I was once a hunter too. There's nothing more horrific than a hunt. In case you fail to realize, the things you hunt, they're not beasts. They're people. One day you will see. It's time you got going. But first, a farewell gift. I have no use for it anyway.
So, yes, he gives us the Powder Keg Hunter badge, and I ended up using a bold mark to get it here. Now, you can choose to hunt the beasts or spare them. If you choose to spare them, then he will not attack you. He'll give you the Hunter Keg badge, tell you to leave. But if you choose to hunt them, he'll attack you, and then you have a fight. So it's really up to you what you want to do. Either way leads to the same outcome. You get the Powder Keg Hunter badge, and then, you know. everything is all fine and dandy from there. Now, the doll has some brand new dialogue, so I'm just gonna go through that, and yeah.
Hunters have told me about the church, about the gods and their love. But do the gods love their creations? I am a doll created by you humans. Would you ever think to love me? Of course. I do love you. Isn't that how you've made me?
Alright, so the doll's just talking about love and who made her, and honestly, I don't know if I should trust her. I almost fell right there. But yeah, I don't know if we should trust her. She said she was made by humans, but there's a lot of theories that go around the internet for Bloodborne, and the doll being made by a Great One, Gurman, or her even being a Great One herself are all theories. So there's a lot to believe, rather than she was made by humans. Definitely something to think about. So I told you guys I'd come back for those items, so I did. Just figured now would be a good time while I have a bunch of other stuff to do. And it was a messenger's adornment and a skull of a madman. Not items that are super amazingly important, but they're important nonetheless.
Good to see you safe. Now, let's think up something to discuss. Just tell me what piques your interest. Ah, there's something I want to tell you. A bit of wisdom from the eminent master Logarius. Once, a scholar betrayed his fellows at Bergenworth and brought forbidden blood back with him to Canehurst Castle. It was there that the first of the inhuman Vile Bloods was born. The Vile Bloods are fiendish creatures who threaten the purity of the Church's blood healing. The ruler of the Vile Bloods is still alive today. And so, to honor my master's wishes, I search for the path to Canehurst Castle.
Now, it's been a long time since I've gone through here, this forest. And there is this place is definitely one of the most item-intensive areas in the game. There's a lot of items in a lot of little nooks and crannies. So, I'm trying to make sure I get everything, so if you see me wandering off trying to pick anything up, then yeah, that's why. As you can see there, weapon at risk. So, because our weapon is at risk, I ended up equipping a brand new weapon. It'll change up the moveset, and yeah, since our Sock Labor's going to be doing like no damage. And here I'm showing off that there's a switch under this wood. If you step on it, that thing comes and hits you in the face if you're running straight towards it. So yeah, just watch out for that, or just, you know, do what I did, release it and leave it be. This next section can be sort of tricky. There is a bunch of guys throwing oil urns at you, and there is fire everywhere. So, just like you, when you put an oil urn on something and then ignite it, the same happens to you. So if you step into that fire after you get oil earned, you are going to ignite and probably die. Just be aware of that. Now usually the enemies here are too stupid to not run into the fire themselves and die, so that actually helped out quite a bit. As you can see, our Sock Labor is doing like 0 damage now that it's broken. So I was like, okay, I'll equip the Rifle Spear, because Rifle Spear is pretty dang good for a Bloodtinge build. Obviously it's not the best weapon, but it's one of the only Bloodtinge weapons in the base game without having to go to the old Hunters DLC. So as you can see here, I was just getting pelted with those things trying to go for items. And I was like, well, I guess I could just drop onto his head. So I was like, that one's a little too far away, so I'll just drop on this one down here. I thought it was going to do a little bit more damage than it did, but it didn't, so I still kind of got pelted for a little bit. But I backed up here just so I could deal with this guy. And I kind of just gave up here, and I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna smack the crap out of him. And once one of them's down, you don't really have to worry about the other one. The charged R2s on the spear here do actually a good amount of damage for what they are. I know there is a split path here, 3 ways, and you're going to want to go to the right first, just because it has one of these little creatures here. And now obviously you're going to get ambushed because the game's like, you think you're going to just get this item, or these bloodstone shards so easily? No. So you get your bloodstone shards, kill these crows, and you'll get out of here. Now there is nothing down the middle path that we need to worry about right now. So actually what we end up doing is we're going to head down the left path after we get out of here, obviously, and collect a few items. Now we aren't going to actually go into the village quite yet. And I'll explain it when we get there. As you can see, this thing is just so beautiful. It's so cool to have like just a gun attached to the end of your weapon. I was like, give me the item, dang it. It's just some beast blood pellets, but 100% all day, every day. Alright, so here we are at the village. We're going to actually head left here. And that is going to take us over to this path. There's a few items here we're going to pick up. Nothing too special.
Oh, a hunter of beasts are you? Glory be. You know not the value you possess, but more's the pity. The hours of the night are many, and the beasts more than I can count. A veritable hunt unending. Not even death offers solace, and the blood imbibes you. A most frightful fate. Oh my, but I'm willing to do you a kindness. Step lightly round to the right of the great cathedral and seek an ancient, shrouded church. The gift of the Godhead will grant you strength. Yes, I'm unquestionably certain.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at that item we just got, the tonsil stone. A lattice-deformed rock, or perhaps a meteorite, appears useless but possesses some odd gravitational force that prevents its riddance. A dubious soul once said, "Step lightly round the right of the great cathedral, and seek an ancient shrouded church. The gift of the God Hand will grant you strength." Now you guys can probably tell already, but this is a different clip of this area. This is a different time I ended up coming through here. And I just like this clip better, and I want to make the video as best as it can, so I ended up using this one instead. Mostly because I just do really well on killing everything. Look at how beautiful. Now obviously I don't have this weapon yet in the original thing, but we will grab it, so... Here is the Beast Roar. Now we're just going to quickly take this guy down. And then we'll come back through here and pick up this blue elixir. Or 4 of them, actually. And then we'll head over to this path on the left. There's some antidotes down here. Just go pick those up. Now, you're going to want to have your antidotes ready, which I think I do here. And you're just going to want to follow the same path I do along the right side here. Ignore everything. There is no enemy here that is worth fighting in this poison. Especially not these giants. Maybe later when you have a lot more damage output you can come back here and kill them. But for now, ignore everything. Right, I didn't realize I had my bone marrow still equipped, so I swapped to antidotes. I accidentally ended up using a bone marrow. I should have used it here to kill one of these guys, but worked out, so. I just looked at the camera there, I was like, oh my god, I need to rush through these guys and hope that they don't gang up on me and just completely shred my health. If, like, all 4 of those guys hit you, you're dead. It's just over. Now I will shut up for a little bit. This part blew my mind the first time I played Bloodborne, so I'm gonna let you guys experience it as well. I don't know if you guys recognize this place, but this is the gate at the beginning of the game that we could not open. Definitely really cool how everything just circles back around like that. I'm just going to use the dual-handed form of the spear here, the rifle spear, in order to get this guy, because he takes a lot of thrust damage. And it's good to keep it range to this guy anyway, so... He actually ends up almost demolishing me right there, but it's just like an old game of Joust. One falls and one walks away with minor injuries. So the damage I do is just barely too low to kill those crows, so I ended up shooting them just for the little extra damage. Now here's what we came here for, the Canehurst summons. And now here's something that's sort of sad. Check the item that this creature drops. A Yosefka's blood vial. Now, it is presumed that the imposter Yosefka experimented on the real Yosefka and ended up turning her into that thing. Now here is where I head back to the Hunter's Workshop, or the Hunter's Dream, sorry, in order to buy the Hunter's Axe. I also upgraded to +3 and put some runes on it. Now the Hunter's Axe for me is a must-use weapon when fighting the imposter Yosefka. She just, I don't know. It's the only weapon with enough range right now for me to trust it enough, I guess you could say. So we got the Hunter's Axe here, and this is where I go ahead and upgrade it. I think I also repair our saw cleaver, but yeah. Left here now, and there's a chest in here we can pick up, and inside this chest is another communion rune, but this is a better version of the communion rune. So if you are using it, then there's a better version for you.
Ah, moonlit scents. How did you worm your way in here? Very unfortunate. I had such high hopes for you. Well, I won't make any excuses. Would you mind leaving us alone? Things need not change. You'll do the rescuing, and I'll do the saving. But if you refuse to leave, oh well. I've always wanted to try my hand on a hunter.
I'm actually going to skip ahead a little bit, just so you don't have to sit here and watch this whole fight drag out, because it is a long one. It takes me maybe 8 minutes, maybe a little bit more, maybe 12, honestly. I don't remember, but it takes quite a while. Mostly all you do is just stand behind these tables, do the charged R2 at her, and she'll get hit. But anyways, yeah, just like that. And that's basically all the whole fight is. Get you guys back in a second. Alright, so here we are, back with this fight. As you can see, I'm still doing the same stuff over and over. Just walking around the table, smacking her whenever I can. That move is so powerful. It can actually one-shot you if multiple of those things hit you. I ended up using my Yosefka's blood vial right there. I'm glad I did, because if I didn't, I would have just dropped dead from that. I decided, I was like, well, I'm too scared to get near her. I'll just shoot her until she dies. And we get the Odin Wraith rune. Now, the Odin Wraith rune is pretty dang good. It allows you to restore your Quicksilver bullets every time you do a visceral attack. I think it's 2 bullets per visceral attack, so it's pretty good. and we'll end up taking a look at those as soon as we get back to the Hunter's Workshop now. Or the Hunter's Dream. I keep calling it the Hunter's Workshop, I don't know. So when we came back here, this door was actually closed, so I had to open it up again. But now that she's dead, it should never close again. And I don't think we can actually send people to Yosefka's clinic anymore. Alright, so now that we're back in the Hunter's Dream, we can go ahead and read some of these items. There's a few I want to read here. Starting with the Powder Keg Hunter Badge. Badge crafted by the Powder Kegs, the heretics of the workshop. The Powder Keg's adoration of complex design and big booms culminated in weapon designs that contrast with those traditionally of the workshop. The late Powder Kegs, bless their souls, had a motto: if a weapon ain't got kick, it just ain't worth it. Badge crafted in secret by Archibald, the infamous eccentric of the Healing Church for his friends. Archibald was fascinated by the blue sparks that emanate from the hides of the dark beasts, and dedicated his life to its artificial reproduction, in a style of inquiry that incidentally closely followed the methodology of Bergenworth. A Carl rune that transcribes inhuman sounds. Wraith sees a subtle mucus in the warmth of blood, and acknowledges visceral attacks as one of the darker hunter techniques. Visceral attacks restore quicksilver bullets. Human or no, the oozing blood is a medium of the highest grade, and the essence of the formless Grey One, Odin. Both Odin and his inadvertent worshippers surreptitiously seek the precious blood. And now the last item here on our list is the Canehurst Summon. An old bloodstained summons, inviting an honored guest to the forsaken castle Canehurst. Rather bafflingly, it is addressed to you. Do not hesitate. The stagecoach leaves from Hemwick Crossing.
What is it?
And that's where we'll be heading in the next episode, guys. So, if you have enjoyed, remember to like down below. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell if you want to see videos by me as soon as they're out. With that being said, guys, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a nice day. What is up, guys? Rarno back once again, and as you can probably tell, this is actually post-commentary, but I wanted to start making my way through the chalice dungeons in order to get some of the items that I'm going to need later on. Now, I've recorded the first chalice dungeon, but I won't be recording the rest, just the ones where really special things happen. So, because this is post-commentary, and it'll most likely be tacked on to the end of the next episode, so on episode 4 you'll probably see this, even though it's recorded before I actually do episode 4. Yeah, that's when you'll probably see this. So if you want to actually see the first chalice dungeon, then go ahead and stay. If not, no big deal. Already at the end of the video anyway, so you can watch this just for a little bonus, or skip it. But either way, it's fine. I'll be staying quiet through the journey through the first dungeon though, so not much commentary is going to be going on here, but I might pop in every once in a while just to add some things as to what I'm doing. But for the most part, I'm going to stay still. So anyways, without further ado, guys, let's hop right into the first chalice dungeon. Hope you enjoy. So here I just started off by going through the shop and picking up a few items. I picked up a couple of blood vials, and I think I go back to my storage in order to pick up my bone marrow ash. I also use my cold blood, so obviously I won't have those in the next episode, but that's no big deal. I could use my madman as well, too. Yeah. And I also picked up, like, I think it was 3 Molotovs, because they're just really nice to have on this first boss in the chalice dungeon. Basically, the goal of chalice dungeons is to find the switch that opens the door at the end of the dungeon, and you can use that to head to a boss, kill the boss, get the chalice, move on to the next dungeon. And there's 3 bosses at the start of these dungeons, because these are just the easy dungeons. Later on there'll be more layers. I can go up to 5, if I remember correctly. That guy actually terrified me. But yes, as I said, I'll be going through all the challenge. Did you see that bullshit? That was total bull. But yeah. I'm gonna end up going through a bunch of the chalice dungeons on my own. Probably not gonna record them unless like, I'll obviously record the last chalice dungeon, and I'll probably record when I pick up some of the weapons that I'm going to be going after. But other than that, nothing too much to see. The last chalice dungeon has a unique boss that's exclusive to chalice dungeons in it, so my gun skill was just bad against this guy. The other day I was parrying snatches left and right, but couldn't do it very well in this one. I think I did something pretty cool here. I ended up killing all of the rats at once with a Molotov. Yeah, that was honestly pretty dang beautiful. I can wave at them, like, bye-bye. One of them ended up surviving, but I just thought that was pretty cool. I didn't expect him to jump at me as soon as I got in there, so I was just getting ready to throw a Molotov, and then he did it again here, but I was ready that time. So yeah, this is why I picked up Molotovs. He really wanted to jump at me a lot in this fight. It got pretty tricky. But yeah, this is why I picked up a couple of Molotovs, because I knew I wasn't going to get very many going in here. I don't know, he was just jumping a lot. I just wanted to stay at range with this guy, mostly because his hitboxes for his weapons are pretty annoying to deal with. And sometimes you'll get hit out of nowhere and just lose almost all your health, and it can be pretty bad. He's one of those bosses you gotta just dodge away from for the most part, unless he does that jump attack. Or there's a few other attacks that you could dodge towards and be fine. That attack right there is the one I'm talking about, where he just lunges towards you. It really... There we go. Good job, me. Oh, sorry, I've never done post-commentary before, so this is a little bit new to me. So, as I was saying, I want to make my way up to the higher level chalice dungeon in order to pick up some items, and also, another reason I want to do this is because in the next episode I'm going to be picking up a weapon that is going to set in stone the Bloodtinge build that we're going for. I'm going to be picking up a new gun and a new weapon, but the weapon requires 50,000 blood echoes to pick up from the shop after you get the badge that can purchase it. So, obviously, I wanted to make sure I would be able to have 50,000 by the end of next episode, and I think I have enough, so by the end of this I have around 30,000 or so, and I'm pretty sure we're going to pick up at least 20,000 going after the weapons badge in the first place. Also, this is the first time I end up summoning an NPC in Bloodborne so far throughout this playthrough. The only reason I ended up summoning him is because, yeah, it does double the boss's HP and can be really tricky, but as long as he helps you get it down a little bit over half, then you're benefiting. So, and I just like the feeling of being able to know that I can attack the boss from behind while he beats on my summon. Yeah, that enemy down there, he's fat, he rolls, and he tries to smack you with a club. I call him the Dark Souls of this game. I couldn't believe that. Those summons just block you when he was blocked me when he was summoned. Actually, I think I ended up getting pretty lucky on him and beating him pretty soundly here. Yeah. I didn't actually intend to get that backstab, but I got it and he was just done from there. So these guys just might be the easiest bosses in Bloodborne history, so there's not really much to explain here. I'm gonna actually just skip past them and, yeah. was just kind of messing up my backstabs here. Just wasn't getting it at all. Kind of got a little annoyed and just decided to smack the crap out of him. I honestly thought I'd get hit right there, but I didn't. Then I got hit right after anyway, so not like it mattered. And I knew I'd just get nothing in here. That's just my luck in chalice dungeons. I open up something and look at that, ritual blood. But we need that to open up the next chalice dungeon anyway, so it was okay, I guess. Now we just head out of here. I was just looking around for that guy that fell before and I couldn't see him, so. And then here he comes, right up behind me. And I just spammed the R1 button because I'm cool like that. Now, I'm actually going to skip past my first attempt on this boss because I did end up dying. So sad. Very, very sad. But I'll skip to my second attempt, and on my second attempt I ended up doing it. I actually had to leave the dungeon to pick up a few things afterwards. I ended up grabbing the rest of my bone marrow ash out of the storage and a few more vials, but yeah, I'll see you guys in a second. So here we are, back, and as I told you, this is the first time I decided to summon anyone. So I go ahead and summon this NPC, and it costs 1 insight to summon using the Old Hunter Bell. I look so good. No, but seriously. So here he is, Old Hunter, Tomb Prospector Oleg. And he just, he does double the watch, says HP, but obviously there's 2 of you, as I said before. I was just waiting on him. Now, the basic strategy for this guy is to be very, very patient. Use range if you have it, like me. See, because that is some great stuff. Go ahead and pick up my echoes here, just because. Didn't know if I was going to survive or not. That's one of the attacks you're going to want to watch out for. That attack is a good time to be able to hit the boss. There's a few attacks you can look out for that'll end up showing you. That charge is one of them. You'll be able to dash towards him, and I don't know if I might be able to show it here. Okay, sort of like that, but you gotta be a little bit faster. You'll hit the leg. You can go and attack during that attack, but I don't find it to be the safest thing. The only reason I went for it here is because my partner was getting hit, so it didn't really matter if I went and attacked. That's another attack that's very good to dodge towards, go through the fire, and you'll be able to hit the boss. There is one more specific one. After my ally dies, I end up basically exploiting it in order to stay safe while fighting this guy. Yes, you can cut open each one of his legs, his tail, and his head, I'm pretty sure. And once they're cut open, they'll do a little bit more damage, so just keep that in mind. Olek ends up dying here, and the boss has about half HP, so I thought, well, that worked out pretty well. So yeah, if you dodge towards that fire there, you will be able to hit the boss. I was kind of being a dummy here and just kind of avoiding it because I just wanted to be safe. Here, as you can see here, you can actually dodge towards when he does that fire attack. Get a good chunk of damage into 186, especially on a non-broken one of his legs. It's pretty good. There you go. On one of his broken legs, 2 hits did 188. So make sure you break those legs when you can, and then go for them. Or you can break another leg for massive damage, as you can see there. It's not really massive, but I mean, I could have kept going. Now obviously I played this fight very cautiously, so I'm actually going to skip ahead a little bit from here. I got so scared right here that I was gonna die when he dropped down, but I got lucky. And as you can see, this is what I'm exploiting is the fact that I have a little bit more range with the saw cleaver, and then whenever he goes for one of those attacks with his head, whenever he does the fire bite or the little head ram he does, I go for a couple of swings. At one point I do end up breaking his head, so there's the ram. And there's the fire bite. Okay, see both attacks that I ended up using to my advantage there. And now basically I just do this for the rest of the fight, so there's not really much more to say. Besides, don't step into the boss like a dummy like I just did there. I did a little point there because I was pretty happy that I actually killed him. Second try. And we get ourselves the next chalice. And we just can go ahead and head back to Lander's Dream and place this chalice on our second altar. Alright, so here we are at the second altar. So now we have the Thumaril chalice, the Thumaril root chalice, and the central Thumaril chalice. Now, as you can see, that is a depth 2 chalice, that central Thumeru chalice, and that means it's the next one we're going to need to put on if we're going to head all the way to the end of the dungeon. Obviously, we need a lot of ritual blood too for that, but we got it, so yeah. Anyways, if you guys have enjoyed this video, remember to like down below, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell if you want to see videos by me as soon as they're out. Well, that being said, guys, thank you all for watching. You have a nice day.